The numbers, Mason! What do they mean? Hey YouTube, Toku here with the very first video for this channel. Today I'm going.
This guy looks like a dweeb.
Vanguard with numbers.
But
Numbers.
I like the video idea. I think I'm going to steal it.
Because cards are designed so that they do make good numbers. For example.
Hello and welcome back to YellowCard Cram School. It has been the hottest of minutes, but it is me, Goku, back again. And class is in session. 3 years ago, I uploaded the very first video onto this channel, and it was about the importance of magic numbers. With Overdress on the horizon and myself being able to come back into the scene, I figured I would touch base with basics and go over and re-emphasize the importance of magic numbers and what the new power values and shield values will change for the game. But first, a message from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Strictly Broken TCG, where you go for your Bushiroad card game needs. Clan Selection Volume 2 pre-orders on singles are now available at strictlybrokenTCG.ca, and you can use discount code SBTCG, ITS, TokuTV for 8% off. Concept number 1. The game still plays on intervals of 5k, and attacker still wins ties, meaning at minimum, you want to be able to produce 13k attackers easily. The game has been designed to make good numbers for you already, but most grade 2s and an 8k booster will get you to multiples of 5k against 13k. However, some exceptions do exist, and if you're not respecting this game mechanic and make poor columns, you will effectively be giving your opponent cards in hand by giving them easier guard, as well as crippling yourself. I'll be using Kitara Sanctuary's trial deck as the majority of examples in this video, and to demonstrate this concept, let's say in some weird universe you didn't ride into Bastion, and you have a column with Knight of Heavenly Sword Fort, boosting Vehement Witch Ramana. You've created effectively a 21k column, which is no different than 18k. However, throw Bastion onto the Vanguard circle and you've turned this effective 18k column into 23. That's 15 boosted by 8. Basically, all I'm saying is, take some time to do some simple arithmetic before slapping your cards on the board and making trash columns. Concept number 2. Shield values have changed drastically, save for small exceptions that require conditions and cost. The majority of the card pool is now 5k shield value between grade 1s, grade 2s, and draw triggers, or 15k being all other triggers. What does this mean for you, the attacker? Before Overdress, attacks that were 5k over your opponent's Vanguard were easily guardable, as there were more cards in a deck that had a shield value of 10k, being the grade 1s. However, with this change, when you attack with 18k, you either have to guard a set attack with 2 5ks or 1 15k, which then rots the remaining 5k shield on the trigger, so to speak. The main takeaway from knowing this concept is that there's little difference unless you know that their hand composition is XYZ cards to attack for 18k or 23k, as more likely than not, the player will just use a trigger to guard the attack, which means you can save your resources in the future to make better numbers when it does matter. Going back into the Kitara deck, to emphasize this concept, we've got Bastion on the Vanguard circle, as well as our 2 Rooks and our Platinum Wolf columns. By itself, this is 18k. Now, imagine that the opponent is at 5 damage and we're looking to final turn, so we want to expend our resources and try to make the largest columns possible. We use both of our Platinum Wolf skills, Soul Blasting 4 to get both of these to 23k columns. By doing this, we've wasted 4 soul, because regardless if these columns are swung for 18k or 23k, the most efficient way to guard both of these attacks would then be 15k and 15k. Instead, what if we were to use this Platinum Wolf skill twice, thus making an 18k column and a 28k column, which would ask for a trigger here to guard, a trigger here to guard, but an extra 5k for this column here. Obviously, this changes with each game state, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't make the guarding decision easy for your opponent and track their drive check. Concept 3. The new Overdress magic numbers. If there's one thing to take away from this video, it's going to be this. When you're making your columns and attacking the Vanguard, these are the juiciest numbers to hit for. You can swing for 13k. It's obvious, but it does have to be reiterated as this will demand a card regardless of its shield value. 18k. As stated previously, with the removal of globally accessible 10k guards, 18k is now one of the harder values to guard as you will have to pitch 2 5k shields and potentially 2 combo pieces or a trigger, and lose value on the guard that might have been more useful on a larger swing. 28k. This attack power is 15k over their Vanguard, and as such will always require a minimum of 2 cards, a trigger, and any value of guard to guard, barring unique circumstances through abilities and effects. In the late stages of the game, this is the number you should try to be making all of your columns hit if you can help it. And finally, 43k. This power will always require a minimum of 3 cards to guard, 2 triggers, or any 5k, or a perfect guard. When going for game, the goal is to always try and have at least one column swing at 43k. It is usually hard to hit this number without hitting triggers yourself on your drive checks, or having really strong power boosting effects. Unless your opponent has double triggered last turn, this attack should either A. Rip the rest of their hand to shreds, B. Rip another PG, C. Win you the game, or D. You didn't crit and they no guard it and now they're at 5 damage. An easy rule of thumb to follow and remember these numbers, at least until the game creeps to have higher base values and scaling, is to match their Vanguard to ask for any card to guard, go 5k over their Vanguard to ask for 2 combo pieces or a trigger, 15k, which is 1 trigger shield value, over Vanguard to ask for said trigger, and any card. Lastly, 30k over Vanguard to ask for 2 triggers and any card or a PG. Obviously, power creep is a thing, and these numbers won't stay the same throughout Vanguard's lifespan, but I hope that this video was able to plant the seed, which is just the concept of hitting magic numbers in Overdress. To sit down and really think through your plays to ensure you make the most effective attacks and get the most out of your skills. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and as always, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. It really helps motivate us to make more content for you guys like this. This has been Toku from YellowCard Vanguard, signing off.